Good evening. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Tuesday evening, and we're sitting here now at the 15th of February, 2022. I did go out and try to get my wife the flowers on a discount. What if I tell you, I couldn't believe it. None of them are discounted. They've even got up still the balloons. You know how they make those floating balloons and everything? No discounts. Nobody's buying them. I asked the girl, she goes, why they're not marked down is beyond me in the store. I went to Walgreens, which is if you're watching me abroad, it's a very big chain of drugstores in the U.S., and I wanted to see what they did with the candies there, and they did the smart thing. They marked them down by 60%. There wasn't any left. The shelves are gone. That's what you do with merchandise, okay? So some people try to get the last penny and they sell nothing. They'll have a bunch of dead flowers on their hand that nobody's going to want, or they could have got today half their value for it and they'd be ahead of the game. But that's the world of commodities too. You don't want to get greedy. That's what I'm leading you into. These markets do not follow through so far. Have you not noticed? You think you got a position going home. You wake up in the morning, the whole world's different. This morning, and I know because at midnight, I was looking at the stock markets. They're all down. I get up 3:30, so it was about 3.5 hours sleep. Sometimes I only get 3 to 5 hours. Woke up, turned it on. I started laughing in bed. I'm going, look at that. And the market had turned because in that time frame, word was that Russia was pulling back, rotating some of the troops. Now, the more I read into it, the more I found out that those troops that were being rotated are not housed all that far away from that border, so they were going back to where they were. Do you honestly think that bringing up 130,000 troops, 30 warships, an air force, tanks and all, was done for a show of strength? There's got to be more to it. I could be wrong, but this is a KGB man. He gives you the head fakes. He knows how to play the game. Today, I would have bet you the house that with Germany's chancellor going to visit for the day to talk about whatever he was able to get out of the Ukraine, there was no way today Russia was going to attack. I don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. I don't want to know. So I've been telling my clients, and that's where I'm leading you to, and they pay me money to do this, my subscribers. This is not the best time to try to be a hero and be a position trader, because it's not that you're not reading the charts right or anything. You're playing the whims of these people, and these things just go like that. You've seen them. Is it a day trader's delight? Oh, you better believe it. This is a market for the people that figure out, hey, I'm going to buy the deep break during the day, or I'm going to sell the rally during the day, or I'm going to do whatever. If you're out by the end of the day, you're getting all the movement you want back and forth. I have doubts about the position trading people. Let's go back and look at an S&P weekly chart of closes. You can see how the market staying under that 18-week. It is up a percentage point almost for the week. That's 40 points, so that's not bad action at all. Here's a weekly line chart. I just wanted to give you an idea what if you just did it as a line. This is the chart. Here's the line, and I just decided to give you one of those too. Then if we take a look right here, this is a day chart. We're back on that. Remember, I got rid of the one with the Fibonacci. I keep bringing it up. We were right. That's all that matters. You got a higher high and lower low. That is not a trend. If you look at where the market keeps going to, it's the moving averages, but you're not going anywhere. You're finding some support against this. You did exceed them. A couple of times it got me fairly uncomfortable how much it was under it, and you ran into the right resistance at the top up there. Are we trending? No. You have a higher high, a lower low, and you keep coming here and going nowhere, and you're not even moving to the extremes of an upper and lower Bollinger Band, and momentum has gone flat on you. This is a churn, and that churn will go until we know what the end game is of President Putin. We don't know at this point. I have my own idea that he wants the Ukraine to, in some manner, more than a promise, probably redo their constitution, that they're not going to apply for a NATO membership, to agree to never have NATO missiles on their land. And with that, he might take those soldiers and go home. That also gives up sovereignty if you're a Ukrainian. Do you want Russia telling you how you can run your country, what you can do, how to do it? That's the problem. You look here to the left, straight ahead, right, and I'm obviously doing this backwards for you intentionally, but both sides and ahead, and what do you have? Russian troops everywhere. You think you're going to make it out through sea, you got all the ships out there. You're cornered. Now you got to make up your mind, what are you going to do? Do not believe for 1 minute NATO forces are going to defend you. That isn't going to happen. Our president keeps saying that. Germans have no stomach for it whatsoever. They're sending you helmets, remember that. Never forget that. Looking at the NASDAQ, you have a higher high and a lower low. And when you look at this, you're still stuck. It's all the stock indices the same way. And this is the whipsaw the traders are getting. And if you can catch the swings, you're having a ball with them. You know, this is I'm going to repeat it because I'm seeing it in my own firm. This is a day trader's delights. The volume's big, they are throwing numbers, and they are in and out, these guys. They're doing okay. I watch it, and I'm all smiles. You're overbought in the Russell. I think this is now the strongest of the indices. If you get back under the 20.5 level, you're probably just going to spin around here. But right now, the trend is up. You've hit your upside target. You're spinning wheels. And can you do more with it? Well, you probably could if we didn't have the Ukrainian situation, because I think that the smart money is saying they don't want to own the big tech stocks. Now, when I say big tech, not all of them fall into that. There's the ones that are really good are going to stay good, but you got a lot that aren't. And I think they've moved into this index, and I think they're going to stay there because of interest rates. When we look at the VIX cash, you have a lower low. Yes, this is lower than that. Higher high. The support's extremely well defined. The 100-day, the 200, and the lower Bollinger Band. Momentum is up, bias is up, but you're not trending. And you're neither going to the lower Bollinger Band or the other. You're paying attention to these moving averages, and you're paying attention to past support, but that's all that you're doing. When you come over to the 30-year bond, that is still very bearish, and it can get more bearish. Now, what do you think is going to be the number on interest rates where the market stalls? That's what you have to do your exercise in. Forget the chart. Do you think the 10-year at 2% is enough right now? Should it be 2.25%, 2.5%? You got to start laying out your game plan, because you're getting within probably that half point where you're not going to do a lot more other than what the very next meeting is going to call for. We had more inflation numbers come out today out of New York, some other parts of it, production numbers. Your inflation's still on fire. Labor is still on fire. So you've still got all that, and you're already at Feb 15th. I can't imagine, with the numbers doing what they are, that we're going to get a big report that shows a lot of reduction come March, but it could happen. You know, it depends when the surveys are taken, what people are putting down in them. We'll see. One thing I'm saying is small business, 47% of them have plans to raise prices. So I think that, Mr. Bullard's argument of the St. Louis Fed, I understand what he's saying. Okay, I'd rather the Fed go slow. And I'll stay back with what I said. If we get in March a number that is not that 7.5 but closer to 7, I think the Fed slows down. If it's 7.5 or higher, I think they're easily a half a point and going to get very aggressive on you. Same thing here. And are we embedding? So you can't count tonight, which is Wednesday. So let's get rid of that and go to Tuesday. Both numbers under 20, both under 20, both under 20. You're fully embedded, which tells me right now you get good rallies in this market. The pros, people like me, are going to be telling clients, okay, those rallies are rallies to be sold, and you're wrong when the red line closes over 21. That's what you'll hear. Now, there's a way to do it. It's in my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Do they always win? Nothing always wins, but I will be saying that, and it's a high probability trade compared to my normal picks. That's the way that I'd like to put that. In the dollar index, notice how you stalled out right at the 18-day average of closes. Okay, so is the next move in this market higher to the upper Bollinger Band, or does it slip back under that towards the 100-day? So far, what is it? It's nothing. You got a lower low, higher high. It's not a trend just yet. Eurocurrency's the flip-flop to the downside, and it's not trending. The British pound is trying to stick its head up and do something. Can it, will be the big question. It's making a battle, as I pointed out here just the past couple of days, of the 100 and the 18-day average, but it hasn't gotten away from it in any manner. Bitcoin is not a trending market. It's hit its targets. This target happened when you lost the embedded reading back here. You went first to the 18-day average, and then you just continued on up. But now you've run out of that momentum at this point. Then we get to the differential of Brent versus WTI, and you lost your embedded readings. So when you lose these readings, it's not uncommon if these markets want to make a run after that occurs for the 18-day average of closes. And that's pretty much what I think these markets are trying to do. Though they won't do it if you all of a sudden see Russia does something aggressive. They will do it if nothing happens and each day goes by a little bit like that. They'll probably sell off a little bit on take out the war premium that they built in. But it's all the products too. The heating oil's looking weaker, and you're back up. You found your support, your legs, let's call it, against the 100-day average in the nat gas. That ended this phase of the market. Now it's trying to figure out what it does next. We're going to have to find that out. You know, one of the things I'd like to do for free is show you all my research. Twice daily updates, the weekend videos where I review 40 charts of futures, weekly edition, 40 some odd in the Spider ETF stock market, that edition. Special updates that I put them out this morning. Buy here, sell there, and my ideas on the market. I write in a very unique way. I don't want my newsletter to take more than 2 or 3 days out of your day. But I want to show you graphs. I want to make bullet points. I want to bring things to your mind that get you thinking, you know something, look what he's saying. I better take a look at what that's doing. That's the idea and how I want to write. I've read these letters that are page upon page, and basically they're repetitive. You know that and I know that. Nobody can write a letter every day that's 5 pages long and not keep repeating himself, because the market doesn't change that much. It's just the way that it is. The Wall Street Journal, all the newspapers, Bloomberg, all of them, Reuters, they have a lot of reporters so they can mix things up. I'm just me. To get this, it's free. Just go to the website, look under free offers, give yourself a try. It's only going to be about 10 business days. So that's all that you get it for. You decide if you like it. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.